How's everything?
Uh, to to be honest, no idea. I'm like the torn apart. Basically, doing so many different things today that
How come?
no idea what's going on. I mean, there are so many things. Like some clients who were very demanding, some projects that needed to be managed. Some other clients got like published in Forbes and other news, so we needed to communicate that, and like just a lot of things. Like my girlfriend bought some pillows, so I have to go and pick them. I had no idea that she's gonna do that.
Jesus Christ. That's like the word. Bad timing. Bad timing for that. You know what's funny? That every company looks successful from the outside, but you never know what's like actually happening like within closed doors. You know, like,
Yeah.
Like I look at our competitors, I look at other companies, and I'm like, why don't we have our things figured out like they do? Like, why are we behind? Why are we scrambling? Why am I not good enough as a CEO to like figure things out and be as good as them? And then you get a look inside them and you're like, they're having the same issues. Everybody is, right? Like everybody is having so no company is 100% perfect. So that kind of like brings you back to like, okay, well, at least I know that I'm not the only one going through it. Like there's other people that are, having the same thoughts that I have, and at night they're worried like I am and all that. So that's why I think it's important to like share content and talk to other people and build those relationships, because then you start feeling more related to other people, right? Like you empathize with them, they empathize with you. And as a CEO, it's hard to find people who get you and who know what's happening. So talking to others like yourself and like the community of agency owners that I'm in, like it's a good feeling to have a community around you.
Yeah, I mean, I've been struggling this last 2 weeks just with a feeling that I have so many things to do,
right?
And actually, I don't. It's just the pressure that I'm putting on myself, because I used to doing so many things at once, and now I'm just learning not to delegate, because I'm delegating, but just to like these things needs to do in a week, not in a day.
Right.
That's the problem that I'm trying to figure out, but I think I will get there.
Yeah, but I think people like us struggle with that like very often, right? Like we put a lot of pressure in ourselves, which is what eventually makes us, or hopefully makes us great at one point or another in the future. But it's hard to enjoy the day to day, right? Like, do you still deal with imposter syndrome? Like, do you still deal with like, maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was, or am I good enough? Like, do you still deal with that?
No, not definitely. I mean, if you look at my LinkedIn post in the last like 3 days, I think it's obvious that I just started like with no hesitation to share everything. And just like those are the things that are really working. I'm seeing that they are working. So it's obvious that I know what I'm doing. So let's go ahead and share it. And that's it. And I've been talking to a lot of people, a lot of different people, and new people that I didn't talk to before. And I just got connected to them recently. And basically they are seeing some things that I'm maybe not seeing from my perspective. I'm not objective, like how guys from my team are commenting on other people's posts, how they are creating posts, those kind of things. And when you get feedback from somebody from outside, then okay, it's obvious that some things are working. So let's go ahead and just share. I'm trying to maybe a little bit. I'm having this imposter syndrome when it comes to
like the
some
CEO
things
role,
which
maybe?
No, actually, I'm now in a role of a project manager of another company.
Okay.
Just for a like 3 months project, just to help them out. and they are doing so many things differently than I am, complicating so many things. And now I need to like process everything in a week and try to simplify it step by step. And while doing that, like it's like I'm running another company. In my company, we have like 11 clients, and it's okay. But just this one, it looks like I'm having another 11.
Right. Do you think that's worth it for you? Like, do you think that project is
to be honest, I'm thinking about it these days. We'll see. I mean, it's something that's short term. It can be a lot in comparison,
right?
But we'll see what's going to happen.
Right. I think imposter syndrome is a big thing, at least for myself. Like I know how good I am and how good my team is. I know that sounds cocky, but like I know like what we do drives actual results. But I do have it on like the CEO role. Like sometimes I'm like, I'm not supposed to be here, and maybe it's because of like my age, or like not being from like New York or all these cities, like being far away. And like my friends are like playing basketball, and they're like 24 or 25, and like they're working like 600, 500 euro jobs, let's like as receptionists and all that. So it's hard for me to like sometimes feel that I deserve to be here, but it's something that I'm still dealing with on a day-to-day basis, and hopefully like improving. But like especially as the business grows, that kind of like even maximizes. Like we just signed a couple of clients. I'm like, holy fuck! Like this is actually getting like a big deal, So it's just interesting to see like the mental side of people in marketing, people in sales, and entrepreneurs. I think it's very important, and something that nobody really talks about, but I think it's crucial.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday I was having a call with let's say potential client. She's not a client yet, but basically she's reading all my posts in details, and she really gives a feedback like, now is this really me? And she's talking about, because like you were talking about this in that way, you were talking about this in that way, because like she's a lady who's been in charge of the communication of Nestle for 20 years, and she knows what she's talking about.
Right.
So it's like, okay.
Right. Because you're killing it lately on LinkedIn. I saw the post that you tagged me on yesterday, I think it was, or 2 days ago. And I kind of wanted you to like run us through it. That way you also have the video content of like what you're doing on LinkedIn. Basically, you talk about like your success over the last, I believe it was like 3 to 6 months on LinkedIn, like what's working to achieve that, right? So I thought it'd be interesting if you can share that with us, and you can expand on a few things on a video based more than what you could on a LinkedIn post. So would you be open to that? Would you be open to sharing with us the process?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, basically, I didn't connect with anybody that I'm sending connection requests in like 7 to 10 days. So before that post, I took 2 days and just like connected with some people, and basically I said, okay, so the last time I shared some results when it comes to like followers on LinkedIn was a month ago, when I was able to gain like 3,500 followers, and now I have even more. And so let's break it down. But what's the most important for me is how many people are viewing the profile, because that's the number that is not growing fast. It's going really slow, but it can go down really fast. It all depends if it gets down if your content is not good, not based on anything else. That's at least how I see it. And since it's being pretty steady going up. I know that I'm doing the right thing. And I saw a couple of people like Logan Lyles from the Swedish media and some others like talking about getting to 10,000 followers, getting to 10,000 views on their profile. So like, man, I'm there. Like, let's go ahead and share it. And basically, what has been a game changer is who am I connecting with? That's the only thing, basically, because I'm connecting with people who are active on LinkedIn already, so engage with posts. And
sorry to interrupt there, but that's one of the follow-up questions I want to ask. You talk about to grow your LinkedIn audience, connect with people who are already engaging. What do you mean by that? Engaging on your posts or engaging in people's posts who have a similar audience? From a tactical standpoint, how does that look like?
Yeah. Look, so I want to go after people who are my target audience, and I want to go and connect with people who are my colleagues and who are after the same target audience as I am. So those are like the target people that I want to connect with. And I find in those target groups, I find people who have a huge engagement on their posts.
So who are you going after, for example? Who are the, if those people are whales?
I mean, let's say, look, it can be like Dave Gerhardt.
Okay.
It can be Chris Walker. It can be, I don't know, Jake Dunlop.
So big people in content and sales and demand gen, right?
Yeah. And look, like these people are reacting to their posts because they are talking the same things that I am, just from their perspective. So they will be engaged with my posts also, because I'm not trying to copy them. I'm creating content. How do I see it from my perspective? Sharing a lot of like insights and my stories. So it's genuine content and they will react to it. Basically, that's the only thing that's there. How do I know it? Because in the last 10 days, 80% of my posts were my posts from 8 months to a year. So I was trying to see if those posts will get the bigger engagement, the bigger reaction, and really see what's going on. And you have seen the results, basically.
Couple follow-up questions, because I want to get very tactical here, because I think this is really important for our listeners and for people who want to grow their LinkedIn audience. Excuse me. How many of them, do you do it on a daily basis? How many people do you connect with? What does that message look like? Can you break us down like the specific tactics?
Yeah, basically, it all depends how much time do I have. But I usually do it while I lay on the sofa, just relax from the job and connect with some people. I get that audience by connecting with them or by commenting on the people that I mentioned on their posts. So by doing two of those things, I'm not sending messages to anybody at this moment. So I'm just sending a connection request. And I'm doing that because I'm getting a lot of followers, but those followers aren't the quality connections. Very little of them are people who, like, I would send a connection request. So I'm sending connection requests to those that I think have things to share, have experience, can talk about different things. I don't care if they have like 300 connections or they have like 2,000. I just want them to be active. That's it. And then like we get, when they connect with me, some of them are sending me messages, some of them aren't, but they check 2 or 3 of my posts. I see that they are liking them. And then comes the message. Man, I really love your post. I'm new to your, in your connections, but I really like what you're doing. Or I don't know, they saw the specific post and they want to connect with me, and that gains another traction of people who are seeing their connections react on my posts. So they are sending me message like, I saw that my friend comment on your post. I want to connect with somebody who is sharing insights, those kind of things.
So I think this is super valuable, but let's get even more tactical. Let's say I'm Chris Walker, right? Who's a big, if you're listening and you don't know it, he's a big demand gen influencer kind of in the industry. He runs Refine Labs, a company doing demand gen for, I think, SaaS companies as well. So let's say I'm him and I make a post. And then on that post, people like it and people comment. Do you connect with people that comment? Do you connect with people that like it? What's your process on like selecting who you send a connection request to?
I go over the people who reacted to the post. Usually there are not that many comments. It all depends. But all those people that have commented, they also like the post. So I just go over there and I see what's the role, where are they from, not going into details, just looking at some of those things. If they have like the optimized profile, they know what they're talking about. That's it.
And give me a ballpark of how many. So I know it depends on how much time you have.
I didn't.
Are we doing 10 a day or are we doing 100 a day?
Yeah, it can be up to the limit or it can be just 10. Okay. It all depends. Like the limit is, I don't know how many, but from 120 to 150 sometimes. I don't know, something like that. And basically you need to add new people to your content stream. Yeah, I call it usually a content hub on LinkedIn, because you need new people to actually amplify the reach of your content. That's why I'm doing it, not to gain like followers or connections or anything, just to get that. I mean, I don't accept every connection request.
Yeah, me neither.
To say that.
So let's go into that. What should people accept all connection requests? Should they not? They're trying to build an audience, but sometimes it can be counterintuitive. What are your like parameters or standards for you to accept a connection request? And what should other people be thinking about when they're thinking about growing their LinkedIn audience and keeping it?
First thing that I look, if somebody send me a connection request, if they're sending me the message, because usually this is where they make a mistake and share some, I don't know, some things that have no sense at all. And this is how I eliminate some of them. Like, I'm the hunter, I'm playing chess, what's your next move? I really got that message. That's one thing. Other thing is, I don't know if that's okay or not. I'm still having a hesitation when I'm connecting with people who are like from India, from Pakistan, from those kind of countries, because there are a lot of spammers over there. And usually, in most cases, when I connect with them, like I get the immediate message of trying to sell me something. Usually is the leads. Usually I'm the freelancer. I'm working with other companies. I have leads to sell to you. And so that's one thing. But let's say there's a guy, I guess you know him, Yam, on LinkedIn, from India. He has a podcast also connected to the B2B. He mentioned me in a couple of posts. And after he did that, like 8 to 10 people sent me connection requests from India, and I accepted them because I know where they're coming from.
Right.
And that's it. The other thing is I look at the headline, because you can see it when somebody sends you a connection request, like if there's something written there, just based on that. And basically it takes like 3 seconds to decide if I'm going to connect with somebody or not. That's how long it takes, even less.
Got it. Yeah, I think that's some good parameters. I use a very similar strategy as you do. I think I've met some very interesting people from India. So I would not say those countries are right away, no. But I do agree that there's a lot of spam coming on that end from there. And it's usually
it's a huge country, man. So there are a lot of people over there who know what they're doing.
Yeah. So a while back, you mentioned that you were focusing more, like you were going all in on LinkedIn. Is Twitter not a platform that you're investing time in right now to create content, or do you think you just prioritize LinkedIn and Twitter is now falling on second place behind it?
I'm investing my time to talk about NBA in Serbian.
So priorities, right? Like that's the most important thing.
Yeah. Look, man, for me, it is a priority because I sleep like 5 hours a day now when the playoffs is on. So I
did you watch Miami yesterday? It was a good game.
I watched Miami. I watched also last night Denver, and before that I watched Toronto and Boston. So but anyway, like on Twitter, for me, it's a little bit difficult because there are a lot of people in Serbia who are active on Twitter on many different topics and occasions.
Right.
And so sometimes I tweet in English, sometimes I tweet in Serbian, and I tweet about a lot of different things. So when somebody follows me over there because like I shared a blog post with a hashtag or something like that, like in 3 days they are like, what the fuck, who is this guy, what is he talking about?
Right.
And so I just eliminated him. But we use Twitter for some of the clients, and to be honest, it's not getting us much because it would gain us something if it was like solopreneurs or somebody who is strong on their like personal brand and has some things to share. And basically I look at Twitter as a platform where people are measuring who got the bigger one, So in most cases, like who has the bigger company, who has the best strategy, like those kind of posts are those that are like over there daily. And I like it because I learn a lot from it, but I don't see that I will get like customers out of it.
Right. It's been a very different experience for me. For me, it used to be LinkedIn would generate like 80% of our leads, Twitter 20%. I'd say right now it's like 50-50. Twitter has been a great platform for us. I think we have this growth hack there, which I'm not very proud of, but to be fair, it's been working really, really well, which is we have a follow and unfollow where you can like target certain keywords in their bio.
Yeah, I know.
So you target the person that you want to follow his audience, and then within that you can find a keyword, right? So we've been targeting CEOs, angel investors, VCs, like very specific keywords, and adding them, like following them. A lot of them follow back. And to be fair, it's not great for engagement because it doesn't allow you to like have amazing engagement, which is 100% true. But it's great for people to check out what you're doing and check out your profile. And because my bio and pinned tweet is very well optimized, we've generated a lot of business of people like seeing our profile, having an immediate need, and then reaching out. Also, something that people are not doing much is creating video content there. So video content has been very effective on Twitter because it not only brings in new leads, which it has, and it's been great, and stays top of mind over time until we nurture and we bring them in. But it's also been very effective because a lot of our clients are on Twitter. So we keep on building the trust and equity after they've already signed. I think a lot of people stop marketing to people once they sign the DocuSign contract, but you still have to market them. Like you still have to create content to stay top of mind and to build that trust and to keep them like in love with you, right? So like, for example, yesterday we posted a tweet of a client who has been working with us for a couple months. He saw a tweet that I posted, replied, and we upsold them on a higher end contract, right? So we market to people who are already clients. Excuse me. And that's been working really well for us on Twitter, LinkedIn, but specifically on Twitter. I think there's a very untapped platform.
Yeah, it is. I mean, those target group that you mentioned, I'm seeing them all over the Twitter, so they are there. I mean, back in the days, I used Twitter to like connect with people on LinkedIn and really, but get closer to them on Twitter. because like there was a guy who was like fishing.
Yep.
He loved fishing, so we connected over that. I had no idea about fishing, but I did my research.
Right.
So
yeah, I do the same thing.
so we got into conversation about that, and that's how I closed him. So yeah, you can see some things that you cannot see on LinkedIn.
Because it gives you the personal side.
Business. Yeah.
Like if somebody wanted to close you, and like you don't talk about basketball too much on LinkedIn, but you talk about basketball on Twitter. So you're offering that personal side there. If I was somebody that wanted to like work with you, I go over to Twitter, learn about you, who you are as an individual, and use that to approach you, right? So I think Twitter allows for that one-on-one conversation that's not so business focused as LinkedIn is. And a lot of companies are missing out on that. And at the end of the day, another topic that I want to talk about, which is kind of related, once you're created the content and you have a backlog of content that you can show with your audience, that's when good things start to happen, right? Like if you scroll through my Twitter, there's 5 to 7 tweets per day for 12 months, right? Like you can actually become a fan of me. If you like my content, there's a lot of content for you to consume, right? Same thing for you, like on LinkedIn. You have 3 posts a day for like what, almost a year and a half or 2 years?
No, 3 posts a day is like...
Or 2 posts a day. Or
yeah.
You have a lot there.
It's from 1 to 3, yeah, definitely. But look, there's also one thing that we can mention when it comes to Twitter. And I don't think many people are utilizing that, and it's searching for pain on Twitter.
Right.
Because people go on Twitter and like go directly to the company that harmed them in a way.
Yeah.
So because that's why there are a lot of customer services over there for specific companies and those kind of things. And if you go and see that you can help somebody based on that pain that they are having, you can connect with them, start building connection, and like when you see that it's time, you can offer your service or a product or whatever it is. Like this is something that's working, and this is and I don't see that many people doing it. I mean, I wrote about it like in 2018, and it's still working very well.
Right, because I think people tend to forget how hard B2B sales are, right? Like how high touch relationship based are sales in B2B. Like if you're a marketer or a salesperson, I think Chris Walker was talking about this like a few days back. Like you cannot expect sales to happen right away from paid ads or content. Like if you have a sales cycle of 6 months, there's no way an agency comes in and closes revenue in 2 or 3 months, because it's just not feasible. Your sales cycle is twice as long as that. So I think people still have that B2C mindset of, if we just throw a bunch of ads there, we're going to 10x our revenue. Right? Like that can happen when you sell shoes. Maybe you have a great creative or a great copywriter, and then
I lost you, I think.
Can you hear me back?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know where you lost me at, but I was saying that people still have that mindset of B2C of, if we have a great creative or a great copywriter, we can 10x our sales by tomorrow. And that just doesn't happen on B2B. Like it's a different type of sale that's much more highly personal, highly relationship based. And if you're not marketing and selling, understand with that mindset, it's just very counterproductive. You're really giving a bad impression of your company when you're being pushy and salesy and trying to get something tomorrow versus in 3 months from now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was talking about the website traffic for the Funky Marketing, and I was actually surprised how this is going. I didn't know what to expect, because really I don't share links. I sometimes post links in the comments. In most cases, those are the links to this podcast. Sometimes are some of the articles, but they are on my profile. So in the feature section, and I'm talking about the website, about funky marketing, like persistently, and people are actually going there. So when I get deeper into analyzing the traffic for the last month, so like the highest.
Any chance we could analyze it right now live? Any chance we could? I think you have a post there with like the analytics, right?
Yeah. Just a second. Let me get.
I thought that was very interesting how you're creating organic search just from LinkedIn. Right? You have a very high number of visitors coming from without paid ads or without like Google PPC.
Let me.
I thought that's like a great example of creating demand from your LinkedIn content.
Allow me to share the screen. So I can go to analytics, but I think it's easier than I go and just take a look at two screenshots that are on my profile. So basically, this is what happened last month, and actually, it's a bit lower traffic than what we have in the previous month, but it doesn't matter. Like what I'm liking is that we are constantly getting new users, and what I'm disliking is average session duration. But this is actually the time that it's enough for people to read what's on the website. They are not reading the articles, they are reading just one article, that how to create content marketing machine. And because we weren't very active when it comes to writing new articles and posting new things. So when I take a look at it, like we have 1,050 page views and over almost 600 sessions per month, which is really great. And I just wanted to, let me just put this here to really show you the breakdown of the traffic. Posted it somewhere. Yeah, that's it. So basically, direct traffic is the highest one on the website. What does it tell me? It tells me that people already know who we are. They know that funky marketing exists, and a lot of them go directly to the website for some specific things. Either they see me posting about it, so they try to see what's funky marketing, or they do something else. I don't know, but I'm sure it's not some other traffic that you get directly when you start the website. This is coming from the team and from some other people, but it's based on a brand. Also, I mean, social, most of it is coming from LinkedIn, then Facebook, and a little bit from Twitter and Instagram. Number of traffic that is coming from organic search is going up, because we have been in the search for a while. And also, like, I don't know if we can chat about it later, if you are seeing some of it on your website, because like I'm adding links to Funky Marketing website and to your website on each post on YouTube that we have over there in the description. And also like referrals, some of it is from the web summit I was speaking at, some of it is from Zest, when from time to time I post some links. And basically that's it.
When you talk about organic, do you think that's SEO based, or do you think that's people who have read a post and then look up funky marketing on Google?
Yeah, I wanted to break that down too. Very little of it is coming from the SEO.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, a lot of it is coming from them searching for my name in the search, because I can see it in the Google Search Console queries, because they are typing Nemanja Živković and coming to the website from the search. So this is actually what we were talking about for I don't know how many episodes. It's creating the personal brand, and that's one side, how it grows organic on LinkedIn. People know who you are. They go on Google, search for your name, and come to your website and convert, read if they're ready, read if they're not. So yeah.
What do you think about the 1 minute average time on the website? Because I think it's not bad. I don't know if it's great, but it's not bad because 1 minute gives you enough time to like really understand what you guys are doing. Gives you enough time to go to the contact page. I don't know if you have like a regular contact or you have a Calendly contact. But 1 minute, I think it's pretty good. What do you think?
It is pretty good. I mean, it was 1 minute and 50 something, then 1 minute and 30 something, but it's enough because I'm still using Hotjar and I can see what they're doing on the website. So they're reading like using a mouse as a pencil and going line by line. So I can see how this goes. I mean, somebody's coming to the call with me and like actually scheduling a call and saying to me in the part when I'm saying explain like why do you want to have a call with me, and like I'm that solopreneur from your contact us page. So I needed half an hour to see if we are fit.
A good way to like increase time on page, I think someone who does this really well is Chris Walker, is embedding the videos from YouTube on your website, right? So I remember I used to watch each Refine Lab video on the website of Refine Labs, right, instead of YouTube. So that would be like a time on page of like 60 minutes, which is great for SEO and it's great as a domain. So,
yeah.
So something that, I mean, I'm not going to do it yet, but I think eventually we're going to do it, is create a page for the podcast that we're running, B2B Weekly and my own Podium Stories podcast, and embed that on the website. And that way to increase.
Yeah,
like
I agree. Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, that's what was on my mind too. But before that, I still need to do some other adjustments, like on a mobile version of the website and some other things. But that was definitely on my mind.
Yeah, is SEO a big thing for you? Is article writing something that you'd like to do that you haven't so far? Or is that just not a priority right now with LinkedIn going on? You want to double down there?
Yeah, I mean, I've been writing articles my whole life. So at least once a month or once in 2 weeks. And I'm just seeing like the bigger value of writing now posts on LinkedIn. And from what I'm doing right now, and we as a team, we are looking at the posts of 3 of us and which of them is performing well, and just seeing the similar posts of the people from our network and kind of adding the links in a document on a certain topic. So in the next period of time, we will use those links to actually create articles out of them, to link people, to link posts, and to link companies in a single post and get really deep into the topic. And I think this is something that that will be like the next step when it comes to creating the content.
Something you do better than me, for sure, is the analytics side of things. Because when I saw your post on LinkedIn, I was like, fuck, what are mine? Like, I don't check anything in terms of analytics. Like, my idea is if I create great content and it's consistent, leads are going to come in, and they do. So far, I haven't had the chance to like set up the analytics like you have. What's some advice that you would give me in terms of like tracking analytics, not of content performance, but from a website performance and Google Console? What would you share with me and with the audience of like the 80-20? What's the 80-20 that we should be checking out and how to set that up?
I mean, I'm just following a few things. We talked about it in the I don't know, 2 episodes ago when we talked about attribution models, I think. So I'm just following the time people are spending on the website, how many pages they are visiting, and the conversions on contact us page. What else can we measure is if we run like Facebook ads, we can measure if people are scrolling to the page. We can measure that, and that's geoanalytics. I mean, over there you can measure so many things, but I don't see the need right now to do it. And I'm looking, of course, how many people are visiting from which source, from which medium the website. That's just something that I got used to when I was like doing SEO for the companies and trying to get at least one new user per day on the website. So it got into my mindset. I mean, you have the app, you just go in once a day, just check. And Google Search Console, basically it gives me the overview of what people are typing in Google to reach out to the website. And if those links that they are coming to on a website are converting. So I can see the conversion rate. And if I see that a lot of people are seeing the posts and not coming to on a page, so it means that maybe it needs content upgrade or needs some changes. So those are some things that I'm tracking over there. Nothing much, just like basics.
Yeah, I wrote down this Saturday to like set up Google Search Console and try to get on your level. Because like right now, like I said, I'm not doing anything other than just creating the content as good as I can and being as consistent as we can. What type of call to action do you have on the website? Do you have like a regular fill-in form with like name, email, and message?
just 2 of them. One is like leave an email and subscribe to the newsletter on the blog page. And the other one is just embedded Calendly link. That's it. And it's the form when we have like the amount of budget, we have like the link to the company website, and like there's a question where I ask them to give me all the single details that they think it's important for the call.
Yeah, it blows my mind when companies don't have a Calendly on the contact us page. I just think it's ridiculous.
And it looks great, man. Like when you embedded Calendly, it really looks awesome.
Yeah, I actually don't have it embedded because I mean, it's a long story, but the designer that made my website is my ex-girlfriend, and like we don't talk anymore, so I cannot ask her to do any changes. But I have the link to the Calendly page, and it's just mind-blowing, because if you don't have a Calendly page, it's like you're living in the 90s. Like you're asking them to like send an email, then you have to send an email to like schedule a time. Just such a pain in the ass for the buyer. When if they're there, they're gonna want to take a meeting. Just make it easy for them.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? Usually people who have like a form on the website and those like old school forms and everything, like schedule a coffee with us or whatever. Usually they don't talk with people when they're gonna respond and what's gonna happen when they fill out the form. Like they don't prepare them. And you fill out the form and then you just wait and you have no idea what are you waiting for.
Yeah, you're waiting to hear back from a company to give them money. Isn't that like fucking crazy to me? Like, I was reading a study the other day that if you take 5 minutes or less to respond to a lead, there's like a 90% chance of booking a meeting. If it takes 10 minutes, it's like 80%. If it takes 12 hours, it's like 70%. And if it takes more than 24 hours, it's like 25%. So like, why don't you just put a Calendly and it's 0 minutes, right? Like you both have it. You can ask the questions on the Calendly page. It just, a lot of companies are doing things for themselves versus like, how can I make my client's life easy? If there's a question that has helped me build a business, is how can I make my client's life as easy as possible? Like everything we do is to make your life as easy as possible. from like the website, from the kickoff call, from having a shared Slack channel so you don't have to change workspaces, from the services that we provide of content creation with just 1 hour of your time to create a month's worth of content. Like, especially if you're dealing with this type of prospects, if you're selling or marketing to very like executives or C-suite individuals, like that's the biggest priority. They care more about that stuff than budget. People that come to us,
exactly,
they ask me more about like how much time is it going to take from me than how much money is it going to cost me. So like when you understand that, it just, I know it's a small detail to have the Calendly, but it just the sign of something else. Like your mindset has to be in B2B all about them versus about what you want or what's easy for you.
Yeah, and by just having that mindset, I mean, in the last month, I optimize how do we start cooperation with the clients, how do we start the relationship. Basically, I send them a folder in G Drive with like 4 or 5 documents. Some of them are like the steps they need to do daily. Some of it are like, is the questionnaire that they need to fill out so we can get to know them. And this is the content that we are using when we start creating content for them. Sometimes we record it. It all depends what's more convenient for them. And basically, I give them the plan what's going to happen in the next 3 months. So in the first month, this is what's going to happen. In the second, this is going to happen. In the third month, this is what's going to happen. And I tell them when we start, like in 10 days or in 2 weeks, we're going to start posting content. We need that time to get to the, to the right visuals, to create the copy, to come up with the content. It depends if they have like the buyer persona or no, should we define that? So a lot of things go into that, but I like to prepare them so they know what's going to happen. Sometimes we even postpone the cooperation because they don't have time right now to fill that in. So we say, okay, let's go in a month.
Just so I'm clear, you don't have a kickoff meeting where you like ask those questions in person? You send them a document to fill up?
We have basically just one meeting. When they schedule a call, we set it up. That's how long I need to sell the services because they are coming.
But that's before you sell them. So that's before they sign? I mean, after they sign. So after they sign for us, we have a kickoff meeting where we like dive deeper on the company, voice, tone, all that type of stuff, and talk logistics and all that. So do you have a kickoff or do you send them a document?
No, I send them a document because I'm trying to lower the number of meetings and the number of talks because they're all kind of people. And some of them are very, communicative, so they don't stop. Some of them we cannot get anything out of them, but they can write it. So it all depends on who they are, if we need to do it or no. Basically, we don't even have like the monthly reporting calls with the clients because the communication is going on and on non-stop. They're seeing the content, they're giving us the feedback like daily. I mean, I'm getting emails from the clients like they're like cheerleaders a lot of times because they're seeing the content, they're like seeing if we have figured it out how they are thinking, or sometimes they get like, give me even phone number. I want to call him and really explain to him how I'm thinking and how am I like seeing the life, the environment, my job and everything, so he can come up with a better version of the content.
I recommend that kickoff meeting. I think it's been effective for us because like when, and this is totally unsolicited advice, but like if I was to fill up a document, I would put it off until like I have time, and I never have time, versus knowing that in 20 minutes with a kickoff, you can ask me and you can do follow-up questions. I don't know. For us, it's been pretty good. We record it and then we send it back. So we have a document. I can share it with you later or on a
Yeah,
next episode.
I've been through that, and I know the value of it. Basically, I get deep in the first call with them, and I see what are the problems, what are some things, and basically I explain how the cooperation will go, and then I send the offer. But I already sold them when I send the offer. They just decide if they're going to do the content, if we are going to do the content, are they going to do the advertising right now or no? And there is something I wanted to say, but I forgot about it. Okay, doesn't matter.
No, I get it. It's just different approaches. If you get dive deep in the beginning, maybe you don't need it. For us, we focus more on selling and then diving deep, I guess.
Yeah, I remember what I wanted to say to you. So I tell them that we start working when we got the documents and when they pay. So maybe that was fast forward the things. No idea. But when I send the offer, in the notes, it says we start working when you send us all the branding documents, when you fill in the questionnaire, and when you pay. Got
it. Yeah, I think we approach the onboarding a bit different, but I mean, I guess it's working for both of us. We have a few more minutes. What do you think if we take any questions from the audience, or if you have anything else that you'd like to touch on? Happy to cover that.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I expected us to talk about anything else than this, what we talked about. That's right. What makes this B2B Weekly great.
Yeah, that tends to happen.
Yeah, I mean, so many things I have on my mind, but those are all topics for the next episodes. Maybe I don't know, Alexandra, Milena, or Nicola want to ask something. How come we only have like people from Serbia on the podcast? That's interesting.
Because people from Serbia are big B2B fans, B2B Weekly fans.
Yeah, there is also one thing that I wanted to share. So we're live. B2B Weekly podcast is live on like
you said Google, right?
5 platforms. Yeah, I deleted that tweet because I got the notification that we're live on Google, but the link is still not working. So we need to wait for that. But the one that I'm waiting for is Apple Podcast.
Yeah, that takes usually a bit longer.
Yeah, and because on Apple Podcast we can get reviews, and I want to see what can we do with that. That would be like a challenge, and we can see if we can get there. But we are getting views like 35 on the podcast for a week. That's not bad.
You know what I think is crazy? People like don't understand, like they value views very differently. So they would say 35 views is few, right? It's not a lot, but they would give their left kidney to be on a conference with 35 people every single week, right? Like it's just crazy to me how when it's online, we undervalue views versus like understanding the 35 views. Having a conference with 35 people every single week is amazing, right? So it's just interesting to see that. And like when I tell that to the clients, I think a lot of times like it clicks and they really get it.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it from other perspectives, so from 2 to 5 people have listened to each episode of audio version of the B2B Weekly podcast.
Yeah. So Alexander's asking about startups.
Started the audio version. We just started promoting it. I think it's pretty much okay. So we have a question from Alexandra, and I don't really understand what is the question about. Alexandra, maybe you can jump on the call and just ask. 1919 to 2020 at the end of.
We're gonna have to do research on that because I don't remember.
Yeah, me neither. It's like,
Couple
I
months
get
back.
it that it was August.
Yeah, we'll do research and answer that next episode because right now I don't remember what the topic was.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing so many things that I'm having trouble remembering what are we talking about in this episode the very next week when I need to upload and come up with a headline.
Right?
So
Yeah, man.
I need to go over the podcast. So
we'll touch on that next time. I'll write it down to get back on that. But Nemanja, like always, a pleasure to have you. It's always great to talk with you every Wednesday. So I appreciate your time, just like everyone listening. We really appreciate you taking the time on a Wednesday afternoon to be here and join us for the conversation.
Yeah, same goes from me, guys. Thanks for being here, and don't hesitate to send us questions even when we are not live. Here, specific questions. I mean, we're here to answer that. So.